and the Los Angeles Rams. Welcome to you, Mike Tirico, along with Gxlden. Chase McLaughlin set to get it started. Off we go on Sunday Night Football. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. The Rams once again led by Matthew Stafford at quarterback. First 12 years with Detroit, his 5th year with the Rams, including a Super Bowl championship, winning Super Bowl 56. The #1 overall pick all the way back in 2009.
There's just certain guys, Mike, when they take the field and they step into the huddle, the other 10 players, they just take a little bit of a deeper breath. They're like, man, I'm glad this guy is on our side, and he's certainly one of them. He just brings an element of confidence to everybody else around him, not only in the huddle, but on the sideline, on the defense, the coaching staff. Everyone is better as the result of him being your quarterback.
A big play right out of the gate on the first play. That goes for 58.
You talk about a big-time run right out of the gate. I mean, there was nothing special here play call-wise. He just found a crease, hit it, and he was off.
Man in motion is Smith. Off the bootleg, it's Stafford. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'll say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up second down.
And it was really the pressure that threw that play off, Mike. I mean, he tries to counter the blitz by going to the quick game, which is fine, but it just seemed like they weren't necessarily on the same page and results in a drop.
Second down, it's Stafford. Our throw here, right side, falls incomplete.
That's one he'd love to have back. An opportunity to score 6 was right there for the taking. Just wasn't quite meant to be.
This opening drive has been a good one, but will it continue? Here's a test on third down. Wide on the RPO, and a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the first down marker.
When you throw the ball short of the sticks on third down, you're relying heavily on the yards after the catch. So give credit to the defense here. Once the ball carrier had the ball, multiple guys around him, corralled him, take him down short of the sticks.
Hardy's kick is good, and the Rams will take a 3-0 lead.
You know, they did a lot of good things on this opening drive, Mike. I know they stalled out once they got down there into the red zone. They're going to need to work on finishing some of these drives as this game moves along. But that's a good 3 points to start this game.
Points on that opening drive. We'll see the response as the kick's away. On the return is Sean Tucker. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. So the Buccaneers come out, and Baker Mayfield leads them out. He has found a spot to be very comfortable. The former #1 overall pick out of Oklahoma, who turned 30 in the offseason, and has done a nice job with the Buccaneers the last few years.
I mean, you talk about a career resurgence. In his time in Tampa Bay, I mean, think back, Mike, former #1 overall pick, Heisman Trophy, and then the Cleveland Browns, the team that drafted him, they pretty much said, you know what, we're going to move on without you, and it took Baker Mayfield a little time to find where that next home that believed in him, and since he landed, In Tampa Bay, he has taken the opportunity and run with it. Back-to-back Pro Bowl appearances, 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns. If he continues to cut back on the interceptions, he's going to continue to take this Buccaneers team into the playoffs, because that's really all he's ever done.
On second down, Baker. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a first down after a gain of 7.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up a first down.
The tight end going in motion to the left. Baker going to give it to Irving. He'll get in behind his blockers, get forward for a pickup of 3. Cameron Curl up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 6. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. He'll find the rookie out of Ohio State, and Buka. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
Buccaneers.
So as the saying in the NFL, Mike, short throw, long catch, and that's exactly what they wanted to go with here. Operate in the quick game, don't stress the protection, and while he didn't get necessarily the big play, he does get enough to move the chains.
On the bootleg, it's Mayfield. Open and downfield, that's Godwin. And he's out of bounds, down inside the 35. They'll pick up 23 on that one. Good for a Buccaneers first down. On the ground, it's Irving. Space to run inside the 20. And they'll finally run him down, but not before he takes it inside the 15.
A gain of 22
22 yards, the pickup there. It's a first down for Tampa Bay.
Well, that's a heck of a 1-2 punch right there, and that's something that every offense stresses. The ability to be equally effective run and pass on any given snap. They follow up the successful pass play with a big explosive run.
Complete to Buka. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9. At the Rams' 10-yard line.
Second down throw for Mayfield. Get this complete right side to Otten. Get about 6 before he's taken down.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot, but they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
Remember, they just need to get to the 3 for a first down, but this is 3rd down. That's hauled in at the 2. To the goal line and in. Bucky Irving. Touchdown, Buccaneers. On is Chase McLaughlin for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Buccaneers move out to a 7-3 lead.
Rams 3.
Here's McLaughlin now. After the score, he'll pick this one away. This one taken at the 7. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Rams offense ready to possess the football for the second time. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. The motion man is Nakua. The drive begins with a run by Williams. Whoa! And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
It's
A gain of 14. Good for a quick first down.
First down. First and 10
The ability
at the
to be
41-yard
effective
line.
on first down, Mike, it just makes everything else easier. In the event you do have to face a third down the road, they're usually a lot more manageable situations, a lot easier to convert.
On first down, right back to Williams. And they get this one across midfield to the 47-yard line. Back-to-back, some nice runs. This one good for 11 and another first down.
First and 10 at the
And these are the
47-yard
explosive
line.
runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 47-yard line.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, Stafford. He'll drop this down to Williams. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short game.
Here's a 3rd down and 4. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he's going to be taken down short of the marker. That is going to set up an interesting 4th down decision.
The initial reaction is, how does this quarterback not throw the ball past the first down line to gain to try to extend this drive? And the reality is, because they've already decided they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Stafford to throw it. He gets this complete, finding Adams. And he will have that first down. Taking a chance here early in the game, but they convert on 4th down.
Offensively, landing a lot of body blows on this drive, Mike. Just the ability to steadily march the ball downfield and remain so efficient, both run and pass. As they continue to wear this defense out, they have to find a way to end this drive with points. Anything short of that would be a bit of a letdown.
And they will take him down at the 20-yard line. A gain there of 11. Good for a Rams first down.
At the 20-yard line.
Nice job by them getting the back to the perimeter. Then he's able to get outside, stick his foot in the ground, and then get vertical. Right down the numbers. Those are the type of runs this offense wants to see more of going forward.
And he's close to another first down. This is brought down just shy of the marker.
I really like the balance that they've showed so far on this drive, Mike. And what that does is it makes the defense have to defend the entire field. The run game and the pass game, everything looks the same. There's no tells, so they can't afford to just dial up certain schemes to take away a run or a pass. They've got to defend the entire playbook, and so far they've done a great job on this drive doing just that. The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the first down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on 3rd down.
Parkinson in motion. Stafford now on third. That's going to be intercepted. Into space. Inside the 40. And he's going to bring this one back the distance. Touchdown, Tampa.
You know, it always amazes me, Mike, that these guys have all this energy that following a long return like that then they can get into these big, elaborate celebrations. But listen, I don't blame them. You're a defensive guy. You don't get the ball in your hands very often. When you score, man, you better make the most of it.
McLaughlin now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Bucs extend their advantage to 14-3.
14. Rams 3.
Here's McLaughlin now. After the score, he'll kick this one away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. A good return as he takes it across the 30. The Rams offense about ready to take over once more. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
The best linebackers at this level, Mike, they have all the physical attributes. That's a given. But it's really their instincts. It's their ability to dissect and predetermine where the ball is going before the ball is even snapped. And you could see with how fast he met the back at the point of attack, he knew exactly what play was coming.
Williams. 1st down, and he's not done. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
14 yards.
14 on the pickup. 1st down, L.A.
1st and 10.
And with that run, this back is closing in on almost 100 yards for the game today, Mike. He's had a lot of those good chunk plays. This defense has not had a great answer for him so far.
Stafford now to throw on 1st down. He'll find his tight end. It's Kobe Parkinson. And they'll move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line. That is a big gainer for the Rams. It's a gain of 34.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. Going to stop this here for injury. One of the Buccaneers is down. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Second down, 8 yards to go. Back to throw is Stafford. The catch made by McCool. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 2.
The backfield empty here for 3rd and 2. the shotgun. It's Stafford. And they're going to have enough to convert here. And it sets up first and goal.
Rams, first down. First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Nothing really fancy about that last completion, but what it does do, Mike, is now they are on the doorstep of the end zone. So now they've got to find a way to finish this long drive with a touchdown.
Man in motion is Smith. They'll run. It's Williams. And he is going the wrong way. Tackled back at the 7.
Still first down.
So now, from half the distance closer, here's first and goal. Williams, and he'll go down back at the 4-yard line.
He was brought down.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on second and goal.
Now back at the 4 for second and goal. Here's Stafford. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. And he might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a third down.
I can guarantee you that interception he threw on the previous drive, that's still in the back of his mind. You got to know when to take a chance, and you got to know when to just throw the ball away and live for the next down.
It is brought in the end zone. Davante Adams. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Greg, we better tie those shoelaces tight. We could be in for a track meet. Great start on offense in this one.
Yeah, it certainly has, Mike, and I think the biggest thing for this offense is how they've bounced back to some early adversity. They found themselves trailing here in the first quarter, and they cut into that lead. I got a feeling this thing's going to go back and forth, and we're going to have some fireworks ahead of us.
Joshua Carty comes out now for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Rams are back within 4. It is 14-10.
Rams 10.
So following the score, here's Evans to send it away. Johnson now to return. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. Here's the Tampa Bay offense. They're going to take over once more. The lead sits at 4. So they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with first and 10. From the gun, it's Mayfield. A pass, it's complete. It's Shepard. It'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
This one is caught by Shepard. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
A gain of 19 yards.
They'll get 19 out of that play. Good for a Buccaneers first down.
And nothing matters if this protection isn't able to pick up that blitz. They do a fantastic job of stunting that pass rush just long enough to find an open man downfield.
Gets this one into the hands of his receiver, Godwin. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
Second and 8. their 48-yard line.
From a couple of yards shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield to throw. Now, screen set up for Irving. And that one just too long to get going. They'll come up, stop him before the lineman could get out to lead the way.
The best defenders can just sense when a screen is coming. They can tell the body language of the offensive lineman's pass set. They can tell on the drop of the quarterback. It just doesn't look right. That's exactly the case here. Great job getting to the back and taking him down for a loss.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Mayfield. It's been a busy first quarter for him so far. His 3rd catch goes for a 1st down.
A gain of 11 on the play. 1st down, Tampa Bay.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
Not much there, maybe a yard.
Taken down at the 41. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 9. They'll go again here with Irving. And he's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the first quarter of play. So we are through 1 here on Sunday Night Primetime. The Bucs have the early lead. And we're back at SoFi in SoCal after this. On to the 2nd, Buccaneers in possession of the football as they come up to face 3rd and 5. Now Mayfield. He's got a man. That's the tight end, Otten. And he'll take this one in. Cade Otten. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. What a catch and run by the tight end as he takes it into the end zone and finishes the play. Greg, you know what that's like. Tight end touchdown.
Mike, so often the tight ends are considered to be the possession guys, right? They're the guy you throw it to when you need an easy catch, you need a reliable target. But not this guy. He is a downfield weapon, and he just showed you right there what he's capable of.
On comes McLaughlin to add the PAT. He knocks it through. And the Bucs are out to a 21-10 lead.
Rams 10.
Here's McLaughlin now. After the score, he'll kick this one away. This is going to be taken in at the 3. Crazy. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. Kyron Williams and the Rams offense ready to get back to work. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half, putting up some big numbers already. And remember, we haven't even reached halftime yet. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. They go play action with Stafford. That one down the field, but incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up second down.
Just a little bit too much juice on that one, and you just can't throw the ball out of bounds. Give your receiver a chance to go up and compete for the ball, but when you miss that far wide, he's got no shot.
On second down, here's Stafford. That one out of the reach of the receiver's outstretched arms. It is incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
He's got his man. It's Smith. 19 yards on the pickup for number 19. And it's a first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
On the ground, this is Williams. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2.
So this team finds themselves now in a little bit of a tricky situation here, Mike. If they don't find a way to start sustaining some of these drives and come away with points, all of a sudden you're trailing by double digits in the second half. You become very one-dimensional, you become very pass-heavy, and that's certainly not how any team in the NFL wants to play.
That's out wide to Williams. And he'll get only a yard before he's out of bounds, and that's going to set up a third down.
Two-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 6.
Out of the gun, Stafford. That one caught by Smith. That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes. And there is a lot of
under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him.
They probably would have been better off just handing the ball off to the running back, Mike, because when they used him as a decoy, nobody fell for it. By the time he finished his fake and got his head around, the defense was all over him.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Parkinson in motion. Now a 2nd down throw for Stafford. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. That's catch 3 just on this drop. And it gets his team a first down.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They clearly have a mismatch in their favor, and every time they've looked his way, he's continued to make big plays. If I'm this coordinator, I think I'm giving him one more shot and see if he can push this thing over the goal line and come away with 6.
They'll run it with Williams. And he takes it down to the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 11, and they'll move the chains with another first down.
First down.
Well, this is the advantage to having a really effective passing game, Mike, as the defense now tries to adjust to stopping you through the air. It's a lot easier to mix it up and run the ball. There's a lot less defenders in there trying to stop it.
And they continue to churn out first downs. What a drive. It continues now with 1st and goal.
And this offense just continues to chew up yards and get first down after first down. And defensively now, you find yourself a little bit on your heels. You're defending a goal-to-go situation. They need to step up here and get a stop.
Stafford now. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down.
And you think back earlier, remember, Mike, he threw that pick six in a very similar situation. So this time around, much better decision, doesn't take any chances. Smart move to just throw that one away.
Stafford now on second down. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Yeah, and I think that's a really smart decision. You certainly don't want to take a sack in any goal-to-go situation, or even worse, throw a pick. So understanding he still has 2 more shots at the end zone, I really like that decision.
2 incomplete passes now lead to this third down and goal. A shotgun snap to Stafford. He's got it at the 3. Trying to get away, but he will not. He's out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, and now it's 4th down.
This pitch and catch may have looked routine, but I promise you, Mike, these types of anticipatory throws, especially outside the numbers, they don't occur without countless reps, oftentimes when nobody's even watching.
They'll go for it. It's Williams.
All right, Mike, so think back to earlier in this game. The coach decides to be aggressive. He's successful on 4th down. He decides to do it again. This time, the defense has other ideas and comes up with a huge 4th down stop.
Baker Mayfield and the Bucs ready to get back to work. And they're going to hear it from this crowd. They're backed up deep as they start 1st and 10. Shotgun. Mayfield. Going down the center of the field, open man, and it's taken in. Still on the move. Inside the 10. And he's going to take this all the way to the house. 99 yards. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A huge play there. They go in the air. We only see a few touchdowns of that length all year. They go from backed up to in the end zone for a touchdown.
It is, Mike. In this case, most teams are saying, let's just pick up a 1st down. At the very least, give our punter some room out of the end zone. But not this guy. He's thinking taking it to distance, and that's exactly what he was able to do.
McLaughlin now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Buccaneers add on 1 more as they extend their 2nd quarter lead. Here's McLaughlin now after the score. He'll kick this one away. On the return, this is Blake Corum. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Kyron Williams and the Rams offense ready to get back to work. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big opening after big opening and big numbers in this 1st half. It'll be a run out of the gun with Williams. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
At the 29-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Working out of the gun, Stafford to the left side, and Adams has it. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
Yards.
This is a great example here of just not getting too complicated as an offensive coordinator. Who's one of your best players on the field, and how do you get the ball in his hands?
So, 1st and 10 here now at the 38. Here's the give up the middle with Williams. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Stafford gets this one out quick to Nakua. And a good job rallying to the football, holding just a gain of a yard and sets up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and
Really well
8.
done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
Pick up a 14 on that one. Good for a Rams 1st down.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the 1st down anyway.
A whole lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete.
Just a great example of not only the anticipation, but the instincts to go break that pass up, Mike. You can see he's clearly looking at the quarterback's eyes, and once that ball was delivered, he's just attacking it and breaking it up.
They'll throw once more. Here's Stafford. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
17, Devontae Adams. A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
From the gun, here's Stafford. That's taken in. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down.
And it seems like he just cut that route a little too short. He's got to get more depth on the initial stem, and that way he makes sure when he catches the ball, it's beyond the sticks.
Fourth down, Stafford. Open man is Parkinson. And he's going to have the Rams' 1st down. They come up with a big one there to keep the drive moving, and then some.
It's been a rough first half, but now as we approach halftime, Mike, you got to start getting some wins, and it could be something small like we just saw here. Some positive plays, build a little confidence on that sideline, so as you go into halftime, you have something to build on.
He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
This back's been having his way all night long, Mike. Just a lot of room to operate. Great job by the offensive line all night long, but in this case, defense does their job. They're able to penetrate, get in the backfield, and take them down for a loss.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Stafford. He's got it inside the 5. And he'll be very close to a 1st down. Won't quite have enough, but now a much more advantageous spot.
This may look like a simple connection, Mike, just pitch and catch, but I can promise you the amount of time these two guys have spent together on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, just getting on the same page, seeing the game through the same set of eyes, it makes what's pretty difficult seem a lot easier.
It's a gain of 2.
And with that run, it puts them on the doorstep of the end zone. This has been a really impressive series up into this point, Mike. I mean, so much that anything less than a touchdown kind of feels like a letdown.
They'll try to run it with Williams. And he'll go down back at the 4-yard line.
In these goal-to-go situations backed up on your own goal line, Mike, what they teach the defense is it's your job to establish a new line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what they did here. Watch the push they get. The offensive line goes backwards, and they take the ball carrier down for a loss.
The motion man is Nakua. Second down, it's Stafford. Good blocking, and he's in. Matthew Stafford. Touchdown, LA. That's his second touchdown tonight. Well, that is a step in the right direction, finding the end zone. I don't know, Greg. Could this be building some momentum for these guys, and that's important before halftime?
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing this coach is trying to get across right now on the sideline, Mike, is let's just cut into this lead, and let's make it a one-score game at half. So they still got some work to do, but if they can go into halftime, regroup, catch their breath, just keep it close, give yourself a fighting chance here out of the break.
The extra point from Cardi is good. And the Rams are able to cut the deficit. It's now 28-17. So, following the score, here's Evans to send it away. Johnson now to return. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line.
At their own
Baker Mayfield and the Bucs ready to get back to work. And he has done everything you could ask of him coming into this one. Spread it around, hasn't taken many chances, and potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. It's a three tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. They'll run it. It's Irvin. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line. 13 yards to start that drive. And a quick first down.
The best offensive play callers in the NFL, Mike, do a great job tying in their under-center run game, like we just saw here, with their under-center play action game. And the ability to make those two things look alike, man, it puts a lot of stress on the defense.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45. Give him 10 more on that one. And another first down.
Doesn't matter the level of football, Mike. If they can't stop it, keep running it until they can. And I think that's what we're seeing here on this drive. Back-to-back explosive gains on the ground. I'd imagine at some point the defense gives it a different look.
Right back to Irving. This time they're ready for it. Room to run the last snap. Not this one. They stop him for no gain.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 44-yard line.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. A give. This is Irving. He'll be stopped after a pickup of about 3. Kuna Ford is there to bring him down.
At the 40-yard line. A gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
Third and 6. From the gun, it's Mayfield. Got a man! It's Ibuka! Complete! That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
First down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes. And he has been a handful to deal with throughout this entire contest, Mike. And they came into the game saying, we want to impose our will on the defense. And That's exactly what they've been able to do.
From the 20, here's 2nd and 6. Here's carry number 1 for Rashad White. And he'll take this down to the 6. That's good enough for first down, first and goal. They get 14 yards and set up first and goal. So, 2 minutes to play in a back-and-forth first half. Greg and I return to SoFi Stadium after a short break. Well, here's the chance to cap off a great half. They have it first and goal. That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Nathan Redmond.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's positioning. Being able to get himself to a spot, to get his hands on the ball, and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that's a touchdown. And instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
Here come the Rams as their offense trots back onto the field. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Parkinson in motion. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Nakua snags it over the middle. He'll be brought down up past the 35-yard line.
Gain of 16 yards.
16 yards on the game. And a quick first down.
First down.
We've really seen both teams have a lot of success moving the ball throughout this entire first half, and just seems this possession is going to be more of the same as they start this drive.
Stafford now on 1st down. Oh, he doesn't put it away, and the ball's out. And no turnover here. One of the guards able to get the football and get up. And remember now, all turnovers have to be verified by a replay. So they might be taking a look at this one. At issue was the knee or any other body part except the hand down before the ball comes loose. And are the visuals convincing enough to overturn the call on the field?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the runner was down, and that will not be a fumble. Here's 2nd and 6. Here's Stafford. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
Incomplete.
And he's lucky this one didn't go back the other way, Mike. He got away with just a bad decision, bad throw, and defensively, you get a chance to steal a possession for your offense. You got to capitalize and make those plays.
Throw on 3rd down, Stafford. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend that lead.
Mike, there's usually such a comfort level when the guy playing quarterback behind center is a veteran. They've seen a lot of ball. You can trust them to make good decisions. And then every once in a while, one just gets away, and that's just simply a bad ball, a bad mistake, and you're not going to get away with it at this level.
Mayfield to throw it here on 1st down. That one, oh, it's on target, but it goes as an incompletion. Looked like he had that one in his grasp, but unable to hold on, and it will be 2nd down. Emeka Egbuka, the intended receiver. It's 2nd down. It's Otten in motion. On second down, Baker. A short one there to Otten. Now the Bucs will take their first timeout. They get the stoppage with just over 50 seconds to play in this first half.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
From the gun on third down, it's Mayfield. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a first down.
8-yard pickup.
And that first down was huge for this offense. Now they can take a deep breath. Focus on trying to put a late scoring drive together before we hit the halftime break.
First and 10 now from the 36. Here's Mayfield. Quick slant into the hands of the Bucs. Timeout here at Tampa Bay. That is their second. Clock is stopped with 26 seconds until the break.
3 at the Rams' 28-yard line.
Second down and 3. Now Mayfield. Over the middle, that's Godwin. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early, and that last pickup leads to a first down.
So Chase McLaughlin will come in, and they'll try a field goal. This one from 39 yards out. McLaughlin's kick is good. And the Bucs going to tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half.
By today's kicking standard, Mike, this is clearly a chip shot. I don't know if there was a lot of question that he'd make this one. So nice job making sure you end the half on a high note, coming away with 3.
Chase McLaughlin.
Just 1 second remaining in this first half, and they will kick it away. And there'll be no return forthcoming, so the ball comes out to the 35. On first and 10, Stafford. He'll let this one go deep down the right sideline. That's going to be incomplete. They took a shot on the final play. Prayer not answered. And that is how this first half will come to an end.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thanks. Probably a tough halftime for the defensive coordinators, trying to do something to slow down these offenses. What a show they put on in the first half. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Buccaneers offense and their running back Bucky Irving ready to hit the field again. They're going to be looking to possibly push this to a 3-score advantage. Work to do on this drive. 1st and 10. They'll run with Irving. It's a pickup of about 3 to the 28-yard line.
Emmanuel Forbes on the stop. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
2nd down, they need 7. Now Mayfield. That's over the middle of the tight end, Otten. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down.
Now, so far here today, putting points on the board certainly hasn't been a problem, and plays like that are why. Think about it, Mike. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you and not force something that's not there, and that mid-range pass results in a fresh set of downs.
And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down.
At the 44-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
2nd down and 8. Baker to throw. To the left side, to Godwin. And he's going to be out of bounds. Gain of just a couple. And now we've got 3rd down coming up.
Outbreaking routes, Mike, especially outside of the numbers, everything is about the timing. If you're late with the throw, you're going to be watching that defensive back take that thing the other way for 6.
Out of the shotgun, Mayfield gets this one into the hands of his receiver, Godwin. And he's going to have the 1st down taken down after a short pickup of 5, but it will keep the drive going.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
He'll burrow his way forward for a couple. Braden Fisk is there to bring him down.
Fisk on the stop. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the Rams' 46-yard line.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Mayfield. Al Wrighton catch made. That's Ibuka. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
A gain of 14.
They get 14 on that hookup. It's a 1st down for Tampa Bay.
It's like a textbook, methodical, efficient NFL drive. 4 for 4 throwing the ball, mixing in some run. You're just marching the ball downfield at your will, and they get a fresh set of downs now to see if they can convert this nice drive into some points.
And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
1st down, Buccaneers.
That's 13 more on that play. And quickly, another 1st down. They'll motion the slot man right. On 1st and 10, here's Baker. And he's in. Emeka Ibuka. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay.
That is yet another touchdown pass. What a game he is having, throwing his 4th touchdown score of the game.
It's one thing, Mike, to throw 4 touchdowns, but it's really the ease in which he's carved this defense up that has stood out the most. The defense has had no answers for this passing game, and he has just completely had his way with this group.
On comes McLaughlin to add the PAT. His kick is good. And the Buccaneers will extend this third quarter lead.
38. Rams 17.
Here's McLaughlin now. After the score, he'll kick this one away. On the return, here comes Corum. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. Rams offense ready for their first possession of this second half. They find themselves down 3 touchdowns here, needing to flip the script in a hurry. And they'll start it here on first down. Man in motion is Smith. Off the bootleg, it's Stafford. That's caught by Smith on the right side. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's a handoff to Williams. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line. A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 7.
Here's 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allowed the first down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the first down.
First down, it is Williams. And a good job following his blockers, a gain of 7. It'll be second down.
On the tackle.
At this point, we're going to need 2 hands to count for how many yards he's averaged in this one, Mike. But unfortunately, it just hasn't been enough to overcome the deficit here at this stage of the game.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. From the gun, here's Stafford. Quick throw, taken in. And they'll take this down inside the 35. 15-yard pickup there. First down, L.A.
That's good for a Rams first down. 1st and 10 at the 32.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
The key to great defensive line play is the get-off. When that ball moves, how fast can you get off the ball and get into the backfield? That's exactly what we saw here. Quick read, react, get off the block, take him down for a loss.
Second down, it's Stafford. That one incomplete. Good job, textbook there, separating the man from the ball, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it, but I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
Stafford from the gun on third down. He gets this complete, finding Adams. 17 yards that time to number 17.
So here's a play, Mike, that is clearly designed to attack the middle third of the field. So think it's roughly the space between the numbers. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And once he understood where his leverage was and he gets his head around, great job by the quarterback on time, delivering a strike.
And he'll take it on in. Puka Nacua. Touchdown, Rams.
We were talking during the break, Mike. We felt that this was kind of a do-or-die drive. They felt like they needed to come away with the touchdown here, and now they're showing a little life.
Yeah, a little bit of belief, don't you think? Everyone on that field knows they've been a part of a comeback before. It's a pretty big mountain, but a good way to get started here to begin this half. On comes Joshua Carty for the extra point. He's got it. And the Rams are able to cut into the deficit.
Buccaneers 38, Rams 24.
So following the score, here's Evans to send it away. Johnson now to return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs ready to get back to work. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off 1st and 10. Off the play fake. It's Mayfield. That's Otten open downfield. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. What a way to kick off a drive. That's a gain of 30 and another first down.
Mike, it just seems like certain games each week just align for matchups like we're seeing today. Just two quarterbacks trading blow for blow, putting on a show for their respective teams. Let's see if he can finish this drive off with another touchdown following that big play.
And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
That's thrown quickly, taken in by Godwin. And it'll be taken down after a gain of 3, but that is good enough for a first down.
Tampa Bay.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback. Get it into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the gun, it's Mayfield. He'll swing this out wide to Irving. And it'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
First down.
And what really stands out about this drive is the ability of the quarterback to really spread the ball around to multiple targets and put so much pressure on the defense, deciding who do they want to account for, because no matter who they try to take away, quarterback's doing a nice job of finding the open man.
Look wide. Get this one complete. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 15-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 6. Throwing is Mayfield. There's that man again. Another catch. And he's into the end zone. Chris Godwin. Touchdown, Tampa. And he continues to remain on fire. That is a rare NFL day. 5 touchdown passes thrown.
And Mike, at this point, the defense just looks completely lost out there. I mean, they have no answers whatsoever, giving up the 5th touchdown pass of this ball game.
McLaughlin now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Bucs are going to extend their lead.
Buccaneers 45, Rams 24.
Here's McLaughlin now after the score. He'll kick this one away. On the return, here comes Corum. Now an opening past the 30. Oh, very good field position to start as the return is past the 40. Puka Nacua and this Rams offense come back onto the field. They are in need of points in a big way as they set out on 1st and 10. They run over center with Williams. And a good show of force there. He gets 4 tough yards out of that one.
Made just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down. Now here's a keeper on the zone read. And they'll take this down inside the 35. 18 yards on the pickup there. Good for a Rams 1st down.
Man, when it works well, the zone read is a thing of beauty. It just adds another dimension to this offense. And if the defense doesn't get a better plan, they're going to continue to do it all day.
Now it's Williams. And he'll push his way ahead for a gain of 2. Levante David doing his work on defense.
3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 31, here is 2nd down and 7. They go play action with Stafford. That one's incomplete. Good coverage there. Made it uncomfortable for the receiver. Couldn't hang with it, and it brings up 3rd down.
7.
And this is really just more of the same that we saw in the first half. They have made it a huge struggle in the passing game. I mean, just no easy completions, no open space. Every single ball has been contested, and they've done a great job all day.
Here's the screen set up to Williams. Searching for some kind of seam to go forward. It's not there. They get him behind the line. 4th down coming up.
Well, when you call a screenplay, of course, you're looking to catch the defense off guard and pick up a chunk play. You're not thinking you're actually going to find yourself going backwards, but that's exactly the case here, and really nice job by the defense sniffing that one out.
So on comes Joshua Carty to try this field goal. This is going to be a 51-yard attempt. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Rams cut 3 off the lead, but they still face a sizable deficit.
And when you find yourself down double digits, you don't want to make habit of settling for these field goals. It does allow them to chip away a little bit and cut into this deficit, but they've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Johnson now to return. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs ready to get back to work. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. Baker gonna give it to Irvin. He'll work this ahead for 2, maybe 3. Braden Fisk is there to bring him down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield to throw. A dive and a catch. Incredible. Remember, he had the touchdown catch the last time they had the football. Here, he's got a first down.
And his great game continues. And all game long, Mike, he's really been on the receiving end of a lot of big plays, but I think we might have just seen his best one yet.
Here's Irvin. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6.
The tackle made at the 47-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. On the ground, it's Irvin. And he'll get forward for about a yard. He's brought down by Kobe Turner.
And with that run, Mike, even though it brings up 3rd down, it still keeps this offense in what they call a 50-50 downs. It means with the down and distance provided, you can call a run or a pass, and both are equal threats. And that's what makes it so hard for these defenses to defend those situations.
On 3rd down, it's Irvin. He's down right at the 40, but that is good enough to move the chains. First down.
40-yard line.
This defense just hasn't had an answer for this guy all game long. Comes through again there with a nice conversion to bring up first down.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Baker keeping it on the zone read. And a nice run there. He'll be stopped just shy of a first down. A pickup of 9.
The quarterback could have handed it. He could have kept it himself. I don't really think either option would have turned out much different. Great job by the defense having a plan for the running back and a plan for the quarterback, and they're able to force that carry for no gain.
On 2nd down, Baker. That's caught left side by Otten. He is out of bounds. They have worked it inside the 50.
It's a gain of 17.
They pick up 17 through the air. Good for a Buccaneers first down.
And if he's late with that throw, Mike, there's a really good chance a defender could have made a play on it. But he does a beautiful job. He puts the ball out in front of his shoulder, leads the receiver, and allows him to get upfield and pick up the first down.
And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
A gain of 2.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. So we'll take it to the other end as we are through 3. And Sunday Night Primetime continues after this. Third down and 3. They'll motion a tight end right. From the gun on third down, it's Mayfield. That one, take it in. Bucca. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. He's got another one. His second touchdown of the evening. So add another touchdown and touchdown pass for that matter. He has thrown 6 already in this one. Amazing stuff. On comes McLaughlin to add the PAT. The kick is good. And the Bucs will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter.
27.
Here's McLaughlin now after the score. He'll kick this one away. Now return coming from the 7. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. The Rams offense ready to take over once more. They'll start out first down and 10. A shotgun snap to Stafford. A pass complete there to Smith. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up second and 2 at the 37-yard line.
So, from the 37, here's second and 2. The shotgun, it's Stafford. He's going to be out of bounds, but he's got the first down. A pickup of 8.
It's a gain of 8.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
On the give, it's Williams. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
Brought down by Levante David. 1-yard gain. Brings up second and 9 at the 46-yard line.
Here's a second and 9. Working out of the gun, Stafford. That one just too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
Throw on third down, Stafford. That one caught by Smith. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line. They get the conversion on third down. It was a gain of 27.
You know, it's really been a one-sided game, but how often do we see in the fourth quarter the team that finds themselves down by a lot, they start to come alive. I think it's a combination of trying to end the game on a positive note, but also sometimes that defense get a little lackadaisical. And as of right now, they find themselves trailing at the moment, but it's certainly not because of the ground game. I mean, he's averaging over 4 yards per carry. Just hasn't been enough to overcome some of their shortcomings elsewhere.
Stafford now on second down. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
You hear quarterback coaches say it all the time. Let's get our guy easy completions. Well, that falls certainly into that category, Mike, but when you fail to connect on those, it just ends up being a wasted down.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5. That's catch 3 just on this drive. And it gets his team a first down.
And this completion certainly won't be changing the outcome of the game by any means, but I do think there is something to be said for teams that continue to fight. They continue to try to at least finish this game and have something to build off of going into next week.
Trying to push the pile forward, but he's not going to get in. They stop him up short.
Well, after being stopped for no gain on first down on the ground, Mike, it brings up the question. 2nd and goal from the 2, what do? I like throwing it. I don't like waiting till 3rd down to air the ball out. So if they want to take a shot at the end zone, I think it's got to be here on 2nd and goal.
Now a 2nd down throw for Stafford. They'll try to hit him with a screen. And he will get into the end zone. Kyren Williams. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Well, it's not going to be enough, but at least they find the end zone at the end of a hard week's work. At least a little payoff with a touchdown, Greg.
Mike, you can just chalk this one up in the column of too little, too late. Give credit to this offense for not going down without a fight, but they're not going to have enough time to find themselves back in this.
Cardi now to add the extra point. He's got it. And the Rams are able to edge a bit closer.
Buccaneers 52, Rams 34.
So following the score, here's Evans to send it away. On the return, here comes Tucker. And he is stopped. That's 25. The drive will begin there. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs ready to get back to work. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read seemingly every time. From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Irvin. And they're going to mark him down up past the 35. They'll get 11 there. And that's a quick first down.
So when you're evaluating the impact of a team's run game, I think it's important at the end of the game to look back and say, okay, how many yards did they run for? But more importantly, when did those yards come? Did I run for those yards in the 4th quarter, which typically means I had the lead? That's the sign of a successful run game, as opposed to getting a lot of meaningless yards early in the game.
He's taken down, but just shy of midfield. 12 more yards from him there, and another first down.
Here's the case of an offense just piling on. You're really imposing your will on the defense. Everyone in the stadium knows you're going to run it. The defense knows it, you know it. And no matter what they do, they have no answers whatsoever.
A terrific run there. He's finally taken down at the 25-yard line. one, good for 26 yards.
And a Buccaneer first down.
And this is the point of the game, Mike, where you really can start leaning on your run game and try to close this game out. You've got the lead, you're in the fourth quarter, and they're able to pop off a big run.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They'll go again here with Irvin. And this time they are ready for him. Thrown for a loss. And it's 2nd down.
This play here, Mike, is just all about the get-off of the defensive line. Watch how fast they go when that ball is snapped. Nowhere for this running back except to go down for a loss.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. This one is caught by Shepard. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Third and 7. Out of the shotgun. Mayfield. Godwin working the right side. 11 yards on the connection there. It's a first down for Tampa Bay.
I think they're going to have to be more creative here on the back end with the types of coverages they show this quarterback. Change the look pre-snap to post-snap. Mix in zone, mix in man. They got to make it more challenging on the quarterback going forward.
It's Otten in motion. On first down, here's Irvin. What more could you ask for on first down? Nice run of 8, setting up 2nd and short.
At the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
They'll try to run this one in. And it doesn't appear that he got to that first down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up 3rd down. Going to stop this here for injury. One of the Buccaneers is down. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. Here's 3rd down and a few inches. They'll try to sneak it here. And he'll fight forward. Doesn't get a hold up, but he got what he needed. It is 1st and goal coming up.
I don't want to take anything away from the quarterback here, Mike. He did a nice job picking up that first down. But this play is won or lost by the big guys up front. They're the ones who need to get off the snap on time, get leverage on the defender, and create the space needed for the quarterback to pick up the first down.
White trying to push the pile forward, but he's not going to get in. They stop him up short.
I give that defense all the credit in the world there, Mike. And offensively, you find yourself 1st and goal from the 1. You have to find a way to get that last yard and put the ball in the end zone. There's no excuses to miss a touchdown here.
They'll send a tight end in motion right. Irving. And that is going nowhere in a hurry. Finally taken down well behind the line.
The idea here on 2nd down is in the event you're unable to score, at least put yourself in a 3rd and manageable goal-to-go situation. But now after taking a loss, it really changes their approach here, and I think on 3rd and goal now, they got to put this ball in the air.
Throwing here on 3rd and goal.
Mayfield's pass complete to Cade.
Initially, when the quarterback looked his tight end's way, I thought he had a chance for a big pickup. He had nice separation there early. But let's give credit to the defense. They were able to rally quickly to the ball and keep that from being an even bigger game.
Buccaneers field goal. A 20-yard attempt.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Buccaneers add on to their lead. So the mistake there, the roughing call on the field goal, they'll take the 3 points off the board, keep possession of the ball, and have it first down. This is Irving trying to push the pile forward, but he's not going to get in. They stop him up short.
This defense is able to get the hold here on first down, Mike, but they might have to do it 3 more times. I think if I'm this offense, I'm saying this is 4 down territory. I've got 3 more shots to gain 1 yard. Here you go.
On second and goal, they'll give him another shot. And he's going to be stopped in the backfield. Taken down back at the 3.
It makes sense on second and goal, Mike, to keep this ball on the ground. You always have third down again to finally punch it in. But now after the defense forces you backwards, I think you have to consider putting this one in the air here on third and goal.
Throwing is Baker. Now, screen set up for Irving. And he gets out wide. He'll go to the end zone. Bucky Irving. Touchdown, Buccaneers. That his second touchdown tonight. So that will tie the NFL record that has stood for more than 70 years. 7 touchdown passes in 1 game. First done by Sid Luckman with the Bears in 1943. And then Adrian Burke of the Eagles in 1954. We've waited a long time. Now they have company. McLaughlin now for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Buccaneers tack on 1 more to their lead.
59. Rams 34.
Here's McLaughlin now after the score. He'll kick this one away. This will be returned from the 6. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. Kyron Williams and the Rams offense ready to get back to work. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. Good work there defensively. Knocked it away, and that pass falls incomplete.
So far throughout the game, we've seen him make a lot of plays in the run game, but now he shows that he can hold his own in coverage as well. Really nice job there by the linebacker, making an impact in the passing game.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. They go jet sweep and give it to Adams. And that one shut down right away. Good pressure on the backside. The defense stops him for no gain.
Tried to get a little cute here, get the ball into the hands of one of their receivers in space on a jet motion, but really nice job there by the defense. When you can set good edges and you can have good force players on the perimeter of the defense, there's really nowhere for this jet sweep to go, because with them running horizontal before the snap, Mike, it's very hard for these receivers to cut and get vertical.
And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. He gets this complete, finding Adams. And he's going to have a Rams 1st down. That was something else. Big pickup on 4th and long. And they get a new set of downs.
At the 41-yard line.
Out of the gun, Stafford. That is incomplete. No way to force a football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up second down.
It's second down.
Sometimes it's those footsteps. I don't care how long you've been playing or at what level you've been playing at. When that defender's bearing down, you really get a good idea what guys are willing to go through contact to secure a catch, and in this case, what guys are unwilling.
They'll throw once more. Here's Stafford. That's three. Third time tonight he's been intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Tyke Smith.
It makes sense to try to push the ball downfield, Mike, and go to the air when you find yourself trailing by this deficit. But it also makes you very predictable. You see the defense, they're in nickel personnel, extra defensive backs on the field. It gets that much harder to throw when the defense knows it's coming.
The Buccaneers offense make their way out to take over once more. This one appears to be safe in hand. It has been a clinical performance to this point. Now they'll try to finish up strong. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Irving. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
All the qualities that make a good safety are seen on display on this play. Speed, pursuit, and then the intensity and the strength at the point of contact for the tackle to keep this ball carrier to no gain. That is a complete safety play.
Right back to Irving. He'll dodge one would-be tackler and wind up getting a nice gain of 6 on the play.
He's done a really nice job making the most of his touches. They've made it a priority. Let's use this ground game to try to wear down the defense, and right now it's one of the main reasons why they have the lead.
From the gun, it's Mayfield. Oh, a nice open field tackle there. He could not get free. They're going to stop him for no gain.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a 4th down decision to make.
That one hit inside the 10, but it bounces forward into the end zone, and they'll bring it back out to the 20-yard line. They'll start this on the ground. It's Williams. Up the sideline at the 35. And he's out of bounds up beyond the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 22
Can't
yards.
ask for much more. 22 yards on the first play of the drive.
Well, that's how you get a drive started. A big play here in the run game, and you have to imagine this is something we're going to continue to see. Success early in the drive typically results in success later in the drive.
And a nice run there on first down, getting 8. Setting up 2nd and 2.
8 yards.
Now the Rams going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll get together prior to this 2nd down play. They put Adams in motion. They'll stay on the ground with Quorum. And it doesn't appear that he got to that first down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up 3rd down.
3rd down.
And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the first down marker, and they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
They'll try to run it here with Cora. And he's going to have the Rams first down. At least at first glance. They'll spot the football just beyond the marker, and they convert on 3rd and inches.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Man in motion is Smith. Stafford going to give it to Cora. The defense stringing him out. No gain. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
2nd down, it's Stafford. This throw right side is caught by Adams. And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line. Now a timeout Rams, that's number 2, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds remaining on the clock.
35-yard line.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. He'll throw complete to Blake Cora. Rams use their 3rd and final timeout. The clock will stop with an even 20 seconds to go.
2nd and 4.
Great example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly 2nd down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
Here comes 2nd and 4. To throw is Stafford. To the outside, it's brought in by Adams.
Brings up 3rd down.
You don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. Throwing again is Stafford. In trouble, and down he goes. It is Logan Hall fighting his way in to bring his man down. So a win here for the Buccaneers. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did, and that was the difference in this one. So that'll do it for us. For Gxlden and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. Good night, everybody.